Fastball velocity back up into that 94-mile-an-hour range on average. And Bo, he touched 95 a handful of times throughout that ninth inning, including in a crucial at-bat to end the game against Freddie Freeman, one of the most dangerous left-handed hitters in Major League Baseball.
Yes, he had his bounce back last night. It's amazing what a little bit of rest can do, and actually evaluating yourself, in which we'll get into that a little bit later. But it was good to see dude with that bounce back. And again, you talk about Freddie Freeman being a dangerous hitter. I actually think he matches up really good against Freddie Freeman because his hole is at the top of the zone. You see two fastballs at the top of the zone. He goes top of the zone fastball again. He's able to foul it off. He goes fastball in. He tied him up, and then he throws them. I call this the invisible because it's a slider that didn't slide. I think Freddie Freeman thought it was another fastball, but it had some spin to it and punched him out for the ball game.
Yeah, not how the doctor drew it up, I'm sure, but the result that he wanted. Gets all 3 strikeouts in the ninth inning and closes that one down. So Sean Doolittle made some mechanical adjustments going into yesterday's appearance. He talked about those adjustments and how he got there with help of video.
One of the things that I did was to go back and look at early 2018 video, and those were some of the best innings of my career consistently, some of the highest spin rates and best extension I've ever gotten. And I didn't have a toe tap at that point, and yeah, my hand position was a lot different, and I had much better rhythm and tempo to my delivery, and I was able to stay tall and really come down the mound. So not to get too technical, but that's really what it was about, was, you know, staying taller so I could get on top of the ball and spin it a little bit better and get that deception back.
Sean Doolittle is so cerebral. Bo, let's talk about this toe tap, how it worked for Sean, and then how it got back to his old form to get rid of the toe tap.
I tell you, the best players are players that can coach themselves. And you see here, you see the high glove placement, you see the feet, and he's able to drive down through that ball. And that was back in 2018. And now you fast forward 2019, you see the glove placement is down a little bit lower, which in my opinion, this makes your arm have to work just a little bit harder to stay on top of the baseball. And you see that pitch is a lot lower. That's not where Sean Doolittle wants the ball. Now we're going to take a look at both of these together so you can see the difference, and it's clear that the glove placement is higher and it's out away from his body a little bit more, which again, I think it helps him stay on top of the baseball. And you're talking about a guy who wants to pitch to the top of the zone. Let's go to last night. The glove placement is back high and he's able to stay on top of the ball, and he was electric at the top of the strike zone.
And no toe tap. So Sean Doolittle said that he added that toe tap kind of around this time last year maybe to mess with hitters' timing. Wanted to maybe throw them off a little bit if he's stopping his momentum and then kind of restarting it a bit, but it wasn't working for him. And as you said, he self-evaluated, he went back to the tape and tweaked it himself. A pitching coach is great, but if you know yourself incredibly well and what works for you, that helps a lot too.
2 major points. A really good coach is able to tell a player what they're doing when they were right. A really good player is able to actually look at his own footage and figure out what he's doing when he's right. But I'm going to give an assist here to Joe Madden.
Yeah.
And the reason he gets an assist is because of the protest and everything that came about with Doolittle tapping. Obviously, I think that actually prompted him to actually get into the video and really analyze where he was at.
So some of this may be usage. Sean Doolittle got a couple days off. He's had a lot of work to begin the season. So his fastball velocity was up, probably in part because of that last night. But also, Bo, you talk about how important a guy like him, not necessarily spin rate, but getting the feel off the tips of his fingers and the extension, and it looked like he had that back last night. He was getting awkward swings the entire appearance.
Yes, it's probably more important for Sean than probably most pitches to actually get that spin rate to stay on top of the ball. That's why his glove placement and his arm working in sequence with his lower half is extremely important for him having that late life.